Here we go again, another edition of the Rangers Roundup and the Bulls Corner. And my goodness, what a day this was. A day and night to remember once again. A thrilling evening of action, down to the wire, a buzzer beater, and Shakespearean drama ruling the roost again. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am Michael Flecha alongside Anthony Florio, and we are covering Game 4 of the NBA second round, the Chicago Bulls and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Stanley Cup playoffs, Game 6 between the New York Rangers and the Washington Capitals. We're going to start it off with the Chicago Bulls tonight, as it was indeed Game 4 of the Eastern Conference second round, as they play against the Cavaliers at the UC, the United Center. Bulls fans, tonight it was not our night, not this afternoon. Unfortunately, the Cavaliers steal it at the end with a shot at the buzzer by LeBron James. He sticks the dagger, 1.5 left, and he nails the shot, a corner jumper, to win the game for the Cavaliers. But let's set it up and let's get to what led to the ender before we do that. And plus, I do have the audio of the game-winning shot. However, let's get right into it. After the first quarter, the Chicago Bulls led 28 to 26. In the second quarter, Cleveland actually beat the Bulls in the quarter, went 23 to 17. The third quarter, Chicago exploded for a 23 to 12 lead, and it looked like they were well on their way to winning this game. But a 25 to 16 run in the fourth quarter made things really interesting, to say the very least. And then a crazy scenario leading into the final 2 minutes. Cleveland was up by 5. Chicago came back, definitely got the opportunity, did a couple of great defensive stands, a big offensive foul on LeBron James, as he basically puts a forearm shiver to Mike Dunleavy as him and Derrick Rose went for a half-court trap. It actually worked. Rose drove the lane, got the shot with about 8 seconds left. LeBron tried to drive the lane, and he got partially blocked, but some Cleveland fans were yelling maybe there should have been a foul. No call on the referee, but it was indeed last touch by Nico Mirotic, and initially they put .8 seconds left on the clock. Now, the referees had the right to go into the replay booth and take a look, and they gave Cleveland 1.5 left to do what they had to do, or else it could have been facing overtime. What happened next is going to be tough for Chicago fans to hear. However, we have to do it just like we did in the last game. Courtesy of ESPN, let's give it to Mike Breen.
James for the win. It's gone. LeBron James at the buzzer. James.
Yes, indeed, it was LeBron James at the buzzer. He beats the clock, and thus the Cleveland Cavaliers walks out of the United Center with a huge win tonight, as they now take the series back to Cleveland for Tuesday night, and we are all tied up at 2 games apiece in the series. Let's go with the winners, of course, the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron James, 25 points in the game with 14 rebounds, a double-double for him, had 8 assists, close to another triple-double performance. Of course, Tristan Thompson had 12 points. Timothy Mozgov had 15 points. Kyrie Irving, he wasn't at 100%, but had a respectable 12 points in the game. But he was 2 for 10 from shooting. His most damage was from the free throw line. And then, of course, J.R. Smith coming off the bench with 13 points in the game as well. For the Chicago Bulls, A great performance by Derrick Rose, 31 points in a losing effort. Jimmy Butler had 19 points, but and then Joakim Noah, yes, again, not great scoring wise, but he was definitely a major factor in the game. He played really well, had 15 rebounds. Taj Gibson filling in for the injured Pau Gasol had 8 points. Well, actually had 6 points with 8 rebounds. And Mike D'Antoni was non-existent tonight. Only had 4 points in the game. Let's go into the stats real quickly. Cleveland shot near 39%. Chicago shot 36%. Chicago was a lot better this time around from the 3 point range, nearly 43%, where Cleveland was a putrid 20%, 5 to 25 from 3 point range. Free throw wise, with practically near, well, percentage wise, nearly even. Cleveland was 23 of 24. Chicago was 11 of 12. The rebounding battle, Cleveland barely beat the Bulls on this one, 44 to 40. And in that dreaded turnover battle, the Bulls only committed 8 turnovers, 15 by Cleveland in the game. But it was definitely a great battle, a tremendous, tremendous showdown to say the very least. But at the end of the day, after 6 lead changes and 9 times the game was tied, LeBron James, the king, sticks the dagger into the Bulls, and thus we have a brand new series. It's now a best of three to determine a finalist in the Eastern Conference. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
All right. Thank you very much indeed, Michael Flecha. And hello, friends. This is Anthony Florio here with you for our Bulls Corner and Rangers Roundup. Delighted to be here as always. Delighted to have you with us as well. And yeah, time for me to put on my analyst hat because that's what I do here. I am the analyst here. So let's get right to it. I mean, Shakespearean drama, what can you say about it? But I have to call authority shenanigans here because of the fact that towards the end of that game, Cleveland got away with a free timeout, which clearly should have been a technical because they had no timeouts left. The refs, they gave that game to Cleveland. Let me tell you that right now. And Matt Ward, I saw on his Facebook, Matt Ward is beyond pissed off, and quite frankly, I am too, to be honest with you. And even worse, I mean, they literally gave that game to LeBron and the Cavs. I mean, Chicago should have won that game hands down. I mean, they had an 11-point lead late in the third quarter, and they took it away. And then the refs, pretty much did the rest. So authority shenanigans, to say the very least. But nonetheless, I mean, a great game though. I mean, a fantastic game. It was on a beautiful day, and yeah. All I know is this. I mean, it's a best of three now, which I think is great. I mean, yes, only because of the Shakespearean drama element, it's fine. But to be honest, Chicago should have won that game. But getting to it, start with the winners, of course. Even though he committed 8 turnovers, I still have to say LeBron was far and away the best player for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, another damn near triple-double, two assists shy of a triple-double. He had 25 with 14 rebounds and 8 assists. A great performance out of him. Timothy Mozgov, though, he was the unsung hero in this one. I mean, he had 15 with 9 rebounds and 3 assists and 3 block shots. Mozgov, definitely a great game from him. Tristan Thompson, 12 and 7 rebounds. Solid effort from him. Kyrie Irving, 12 and 4 rebounds and 2 assists. Dellavedova, another unsung hero. J.R. Smith had 13 with 3 rebounds, and James Jones was held off the score sheet, which I was a little surprised of. He's been a good 6-man for them. And but yeah, I mean, despite the 8 turnovers, though, I still think LeBron was the star of the game for the Cleveland Cavaliers, hands down, and especially with the buzzer beater. His 3rd career playoff buzzer beater. I mean, the second one the last time he had one, I do believe it was in Game 2 of the 2009 Eastern Conference Finals when he was with Cleveland against the Orlando Magic, and that before Orlando, went on to win that series. But nonetheless, I mean, LeBron just shows you why he is the best in the world, whether you love the guy or you hate him. And I know he's got a lot of haters out there. Trust me, I'm one of them. But to be honest with you, he just showed you why he is the best in the world, hands down. So big win for him. Now, as far as Chicago is concerned, it is Derrick Rose once again. I mean, 31 points. I mean, what a game for him. 4 assists with 2 rebounds. Jimmy Butler, 19 with 5 rebounds and 2 assists. He had 2 assists, and he also had 3 steals as well. So a good game from Jimmy Butler. And then after that, I mean, who really did anything? I mean, yeah, you had Joakim Noah. I mean, 8 points, 15 rebounds, and 2 steals. I mean, he was the third star for Chicago, and then Taj Gibson had to fill in for Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol did not play this game. That definitely was a factor as well. He had 6 points and 8 rebounds and 2 assists and a block for Gibson. Mirotic, 3 points, only 3 rebounds and 3 block shots. So to me, Derrick Rose, I mean, the 2 stars were the stars of the game, if I'm being quite honest with you. And the percentages, both teams did not shoot well. I mean, Cleveland shot 29 of 75 for about 39%, and Chicago was 32 of 89 for 36. The 3-point percentage, that was all Chicago, 9 of 21 for about 43. Cleveland was only 5 out of 25 for 20%. And free throw shooting, that was slightly in favor of Cleveland, 95.8, 23 out of 24. Chicago was 11 out of 12. And the rebounding edge, that went to Cleveland, 44 to 40. The assists went to Cleveland, 16 to 12. And the turnovers, well, Chicago, you know, they held their own on the turnovers once again. They only had 8, which is good. And Cleveland had 15, damn near half of those were by LeBron himself. I mean, if LeBron can just try to find a way to stop the turnovers, then look out. There's nothing left to say. I mean, then he's going to go off. But that's the only thing that concerns me about him. He's got to watch the turnovers. He's got to work on the turnovers. But other than that, I mean, he was awesome once again. And now we go on. We move on to Game 5, which is Tuesday night at the Q. Series goes back to Cleveland. And now we know there will be a Game 6, and that will be on Thursday at the United Center in Chicago. That is a guarantee. And then if there should be a Game 7, it would be next Sunday night, payback Sunday, if you will, in Cleveland. But we do know there's a Game 5. That's Tuesday. And then there will be a Game 6. That will be Thursday. Tuesday's game in Cleveland, and then Thursday we were back in Chicago. So this is a very pivotal Game 5 because, you know, whoever wins Game 5 is practically guaranteed to win the series. So this is the make or break game right here. And Flecha, you heard it here first. Whoever wins this game on Tuesday night in Game 5, that team's going to win the series and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals, in my honest opinion.
And the one thing that you also got to remember, look at the trend and look at what's been happening in this series, Anthony. First off, Chicago stole Game 1. They were dominating. They never lost the lead. They were definitely well ahead in Game 1. Cleveland tried to make it interesting, but then Chicago just basically dropped the hammer on them and won Game 1. Game 2, Cleveland absolutely dominated Chicago. They destroyed them in the first quarter and never looked back. Game 3, Derrick Rose stuck the dagger on the Cavaliers at the end of the game, a buzzer beater. We saw that. And now today, LeBron James, their MVP, sticks the dagger into the Bulls with a game-winning shot at the buzzer. I mean, you want to talk about how this series has been crazy and it's been back and forth. You even said it. Whoever wins Game 5, normally, I think it's like 71% of the times they go on to win the series. So definitely a very pivotal Game 5 to be played on Tuesday night. And you know what? Like they said, Chicago's got to come to play. You did everything right. I think we all can agree. They did everything right. I think what Chicago did wrong was they let Cleveland back in the game. They had an 11-point lead after 3. They should have, and I think what they did was they eased off the gas pedal a little bit. and you cannot do that to a team like the Cavaliers. You ease off the gas pedal just a little, and they'll run it on you. And unfortunately, Chicago got burned tonight, this afternoon. So with that said, we're gonna switch gears now to the Rangers and our Ranger roundup. And the New York Rangers play the Washington Capitals in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference second round series. And New York Ranger fan, we did it. We forced a Game 7. We're going back to Madison Square Garden on Wednesday night to possibly try to successfully defend our Prince of Wales trophy. Well, how did the Ranger do it? Let's just say we had to hold on for dear life because it was a barrage of capital attacks throughout the night, but the Rangers hung on to win the game 4-3. How did we get there? How did it start? Well, here it is. It started 40 seconds into the game. Chris Kreider scores the goal. Jesper Fast and Kevin Klein gets the assist. 1-0 New York. And then, with less than a second left in the period, Chris Kreider scores again. Derek Brassard and Derek Stepan gets the assist. 2-0 New York. And in the first period alone, the Rangers outshot the Capitals 20-17. In the second period, the Capitals scored quickly. 28 seconds into the period, Jason Chimera gets the goal. Kuznetsov and Joel Ward gets the assist, and it was 2-1. And that was the only score in the second period. But the Capitals absolutely destroyed New York shot-wise, 18-4. And in the third period, okay, all heck broke loose in the third. First off, Ricky Nash scores his second of the playoffs, assisted by Marty St. Louis and Derek Brassard. 3-1, 54 seconds into the period. And then Dan Boyle scores. It was 4-1, assisted by James Shepard and JT Miller. So we're thinking, okay, we got this in the bag. Let's go home. Wait, there's more. The Capitals score, and Kuznetsov gets the goal, his fifth of the playoffs. Carl Osner and Joel Ward gets the assist that makes it 4-2. And then Joel Ward, less than almost 3 minutes later, he scores as Jason Chimera and John Carlson gets the assist, making it 4-3. An onslaught, a conclave of an attack, especially towards the end, and then a real scary moment for the New York Rangers. A controversial delay of game as the puck went over the glass. James Shepard got thrown into the box for 2. They pulled Brandon Hope. It was at one point a 6-on-4 attack. The Rangers was able to kill the penalty off, and not only kill the penalty off, but was able to hold on to the 4-3 victory. Rangers win. We're going to a Game 7 on Wednesday night back in the world's most famous arena. And I'm going to give you the 3 stars of the game, and then Anthony will give you the rest. Our 3 stars of the game was the number 3 star was Jason Chimera with 1 goal and 1 assist, 2 points, 6 shots, 2 hits, and a plus minus of 3 at 15:23 of ice time. The number 2 star was Joel Ward for the Capitals as well, as he got 1 goal and 2 assists on 5 shots, 3 points in the game. He played 18 minutes and 11 seconds. But the number 1 star for the New York Rangers, Chris Kreider, 2 goals on 3 shots. He hit once at 15:05 of ice time, and the New York Rangers lives to fight another day, and now could do the unthinkable, and could it be, and I'm gonna steal the line from the 1994 Stanley Cup champion New York Rangers, Could it be heave ho two in a row? We'll wait and see. Anthony, your recap and your thoughts. Time to put the Barry Melrose hat on. It's game time, kid. The lounge is open.
All right, Steve Levy, I'll do my best, or in this case, John Butchercross, because that's the dynamic duo there for them. But let's not also forget, I'm also the Bill Clement to your Gary Thorne and your Eddie Olczyk to your Doc Emmerich. And Doc Emmerich was a superstar tonight. That's all I'm going to say right there. And that's why Doc Emmerich is the best thing to happen to the sport of hockey, since Gary Thorne, all those years ago. But oh man, he was awesome tonight. But nonetheless, Game 6. I only have one word for this one when it comes to Ranger fans, and I know I'm not the only one. I know Fletch and all the other Ranger fans, Eric Peterson, are all out there. There's only one thing we're doing right now, and that's simply this. Phew. Oh, whew. Man, I did not think we were going to survive that one. I mean, wow, what a game that was. I mean, it looked like it was going to get away. It looked like it could have been on the verge of dud status, and then it turned into a 5-star classic, chock full of Shakespearean drama. I mean, what a game this was at Verizon Center tonight. I mean, I said it the other night. I said that the New York Rangers last night rather. I said that the New York Rangers had to really, put the gas on the pedal, put the pedal down, kick it into high, That's exactly what I said they had to do. And first thing is first, I do have a question to ask. Why isn't Henrik Lundqvist one of the 3 stars of the game? That's a crime against humanity, if I'm being honest with you. After what he did tonight, come on, that's ridiculousness right there. But let's get into it. Shots on goal, 45-28 in favor of the Washington Capitals overall. 20-17 in the first period. That's right, I said it, Fletch. 20-17 in the first period. That's crazy. I've never recalled a first period where 2 teams had that many shots. I mean, that's usually almost an overall shots of the game, but 20-17 in one period alone, unbelievable. And then second period, all Washington, 18-4, the shots in favor of the Capitals. And then also Washington in the third period, 10-4, 45-28, the overall count. Both power plays, Washington 0 for 4, the Rangers 1 for 3. The hits, 36-30 in favor of the Washington Capitals. Face-offs, yes, the Capitals won that again. They've been known to do that, but not too badly. 33-28 was the count. Giveaways, both teams had 14 each. Capitals had 6 takeaways to only 4 for the Rangers. That's not too bad. 6-4 takeaways in favor of the Capitals. Penalty minutes 8-6 for the Rangers. But the following stat, Fletch, is the real key to the game tonight. The blocked shots, 34-15 in favor of the New York Rangers. 34-15. So there you go. So now just got to look at it here. First things first, Henrik Lundqvist, 42 saves on 45 shots, and he's not one of the 3 stars of the game. Like I said, that is a crime against humanity, if I'm being honest with you. He should have been he didn't necessarily have to be the star of the game. Oh, and one other thing, Michael Flecha, Henrik Lundqvist got the Broadway hat tonight, and he's not one of the 3 stars of the game. That's ridiculousness. That is absolute ridiculousness. And I'm not talking about the awesome show on MTV, with Rob Dyrdek and Steele O'Brim and Chanel West Coast either. Although I love that show. It's a damn good show. I watch it after SmackDown Thursday nights. But, oh, my Lord. I mean, how Henrik Lundqvist can get the Broadway hat but not be recognized as one of the 3 stars of the game, that's inhumane, man. I'm sorry. But to me, he was the star of the game. That we've been waiting for a Henrik Lundqvist performance, all of last year. And he literally stood on his head. He made some unbelievable saves. I remember this one save that he made, on, I don't know who it was. I think it was Ovechkin or somebody, but he made an unbelievable save. And oh my gosh. But nonetheless, I mean, they say Chimera was the third and Ward was the second and Kreider was the first. I mean, you can definitely say, hey, Kreider, well, but now on to my favorite part, when it comes to it, the big numbers. Who were my stars of the game? Well, first and foremost, Henrik Lundqvist. Come on, 42 saves on 45 shots. That's it right there. Rick Nash finally scores a goal. Yes, We've been waiting for this. Mikey, he hasn't scored since game 2 of the Pittsburgh series. And he finally puts it in. He could not have picked a better time to do that. And Brassard with 2 assists, Fost with an assist, Kreider 2 goals. But I'm more than, as you know, Fletch. I'm more than about. It's not just about the goals for me. I'm all about the other big stuff, the other good stuff. And as I look at this, as I look at the numbers here tonight, Ryan McDonough, the captain, he brought it again tonight. Maybe he didn't score, but he had 7 hits and 7 blocked shots. That's the captain, man. Ryan McDonough, 7 hits and 7 blocked shots. Danny Girardi, another fantastic game from him. I thought he played a great game tonight. 3 hits, 8 blocked shots. Kevin Klein, first time I've called his name in this series. 5 blocked shots, had a hit. Tanner Glass, I thought, played a great game as well with 3 hits. I'll even throw in Danny Boyle. 3 blocks, 2 hits. He scored. He scored what ended up being the winning goal. On our, you want to talk about a twisted wrister. Oh, my goodness, what a twisted wrister he put past Braden Holtby. Carl Hagelin, great game from him, 2 blocks. And Keith Yandel with a couple of blocks. He had a great game as well. But let me see. Jesper Fost, he had a great game too. 3 hits and 2 block shots and an assist. So a great game for Jesper Fost. And of course, you can't forget about Chris Kreider. Not just the 2 goals, but he also had a hit and a block shot. But Chris Kreider, man, I'm telling you, Flex. I mean, what this guy has done in the last couple of games. I mean, he scores the tying goal in Game 5 with 1:41 to go. That saved our asses right there. And then he scores 40 seconds into the game. And then the second goal came literally right at the end of the first period with 0.3 of a second. Sneaks it past Braden Holtby. He doesn't score that goal. I don't know if we're even going to a Game 7. But what a goal that was. 2 big goals by Chris Kreider. Kreider has been in another world over the last couple of games, and he has been absolutely fantastic for the New York Rangers tonight. But Kreider with the 2 goals, he's a star. Henrik Lundqvist, the star of the game, though. 42 saves on 45 shots. That's the Henrik Lundqvist we all know and love. That's why he's the best in the world. But from a pure standpoint, Ryan McDonough, the captain, and Danny Girardi, to me, were the 2 best on-ice players for the New York Rangers with their hits and block shots tonight. So that's how I feel about, things from the New York Rangers perspective. From the Washington Capitals perspective, it's definitely Joel. I mean, from a scoring standpoint, it's definitely Joel Ward with the goal and 2 assists. Chimera was great tonight as well, with a goal and an assist. But when it comes to the pure stuff, once again, I got to say his name, Brooks Orpik, man. 9 hits by Brooks Orpik tonight. Great game from him. Ovechkin had a great game as well with 5 hits. Niskanen had another fantastic game, 3 hits and 3 block shots for him. Carlson, I thought, had a great game tonight, 4 hits and 2 block shots. Jay Beagle with a few hits. He had 3 hits. Kuznetsov with a goal and an assist also had a couple of hits. Kuznetsov played great tonight for the Washington Capitals. Tim Gleason, a hit and 2 block shots. Backstrom with 2 hits and a block. He had a good game. Same thing for Troy Broward, 2 hits and a block. Alsner with a couple of blocks. He had a solid game. And Tommy Wilson with a couple of hits. Solid game for him. Mike Green, 3 block shots and a hit. He's definitely another star. As far as who was, and of course, Braden Holtby, we can't leave him out. 24 saves on 28 shots. Not as good as he once was, but still a solid effort for him. But to me, the star of the game for the Washington Capitals, from a pure standpoint, is Brooks Orpik with the 9 hits, I should say. Ward was fantastic. Chimera was fantastic. Beagle and Carlson and Kuznetsov. I mean, those were the guys who brought in. Niskanen, another fantastic game for him as well. I mean, but to me, Brooks Orpik, man, he is the guy. And he is definitely their hitting specialist for the Washington Capitals. So yes, all in all, a fantastic game for both teams, and Shakespearean drama, ruling the roost in DC. Now we have a couple of days, to regroup, relax, get ready, get back to work, And as if Wednesday night couldn't be any bigger, Michael Flecha. You want to talk about a big Wednesday on the tube? I mean, look at this. Not just Game 7 of this series, but we also have the finale of American Idol. We're going to crown an American Idol. The new American Idol will be crowned also on Wednesday night. So I'll be all in on that, though. But hopefully I'll have some updates from Fletch or somebody as far as Game 7 is concerned. Maybe I could just DVR it. I don't know, but I'll figure out a way. But I'll definitely bring my Barry Melrose and my Bill Clement like I always do when it comes to these Ranger roundups. So now we go to Game 7. Michael Fletcher, you posted on Facebook the other night. You said that for Washington, they better finish off the Rangers in Game 6. If they don't, then you strongly feel that the Rangers are going to put them away in Game 7. And well, what did I say about this team? They were down 3-1 last year to Pittsburgh, came back and won the series. They fall behind 3-1 again. They force a Game 7. You definitely have to believe the momentum right now is with the New York Rangers, although the Washington Capitals are right there on the doorstep. There's no question about that. But you heard it first. Game 7, it's going to be chock full of major league Shakespearean drama if there ever was any. Madison Square Garden is going to be rocking. It's going to be a madhouse on Wednesday night. And can the New York Rangers do it again? I think they definitely have a wonderful opportunity to do just that. And man, oh man, what a game tonight! And I mean, I honestly don't know what to think about it, but I just got this stat courtesy of our good friend, our fellow Ranger fan, Eric Peterson. He said in response to my post, we get to play at MSG. One more win. King Henrik, in his last 15 elimination games, Fletch, listen to this. In his last 15 elimination games, Henrik Lundqvist, 13-2 with a goals against average of 1.47. Now, if that's not encouraging, I don't know what the hell it is. But these New York Rangers, man, I mean, what is it about them in elimination games? I mean, they are absolutely positively tough to beat. Tough to beat. And that's why they're in this position right now. And go figure. Friday night, we were 141 away from this all being over. And now we have a Game 7 Wednesday night in the Garden, at home, on the home ice. Can the New York Rangers do it to the Capitals one more time? I'm hoping that they can do to them what they did in Game 7 in 2013, only this time in front of the home faithful. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm still nervous, but my gut and my heart is telling me that the New York Rangers will do the unthinkable. They'll do it again. They'll win Game 7 and advance and go back to the Eastern Conference Finals, second straight year, third time in the last 4 years. Wow, I can't believe I'm saying that after all those hard time seasons we had in a decade or so ago. We had all those hard time dud enhancement seasons. But man, that would be unbelievable. So I think, and once again, another 1-goal game, Mikey. 13 straight now. 13 straight 1-goal games. Craziness. But I really hope that it does not go to 14. I don't want it to go to 14. I want to see the Rangers, keep putting that, push the pedal down, keep, bring the gas like they did tonight. And what was that thing I posted about Ryan McDonough, the freight train? Yeah, I want to see that freight. I mean, they brought the freight train the last 2 games. But I want to see that freight train come in a gazillion, not just 100 miles an hour. I want to see it go a gazillion miles an hour on Wednesday night. So I think the Rangers will win, but I just don't know if it'll be a 1-goal game or whatever. But regardless, I got the Rangers doing it again, Fletch. So Game 7, my man. Let's do it. Let's do it Wednesday night.
One thing that also needs to be addressed, and this actually has been lost in the forefront. Guess who was with the Rangers tonight, even though he did not dress? Matt Zuccarello was there. He was with them in Game 5. The Rangers won. He went on the trip to Washington, and he was there with them for Game 6. The Rangers won. Whatever Zuccarello was saying or said, it worked. It resonated because the troops are back. They look like they have the fire. They look like they have the passion. They look like the team that is the 2014 2015 President's Trophy champions. One more game, one more, and we could be on our way back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Change the ending. It's not just a motto now, it's a way of life. Changing endings that, brings not so great moments in people's life. To change this ending is the ultimate goal. And it's an 8-week journey that you have to go through the blood, the sweat, the tears, the injuries. McDonough got hurt, and he got hurt pretty badly in the game. But why did he come back? Why did he fight? Why did he got the 7 hits? Why did he have those shots, taking those block shots? Because it's the cup, the Stanley Cup, one of the greatest trophies in professional sports. And to hoist it and to earn it, you got to be bigger, stronger, tougher. You have to put your heart and your body and your soul on the line. And New York has done it from 3-1 down to 3-3. One game remains in the world's most famous arena. New York is ready. They're going to be jacked up than never before. John Amarante is going to sing that national anthem. That place is going to go off. And you think that we ain't scared because, like we said, we've been here before. We did this song and dance a year ago. And I said it. And I said it once. And I'll say it again. When it comes to closeouts, the Rangers are just a little better because they have that killer mentality, that warrior spirit, that heart of a champion that never dies. Which Ranger's going to become a legend? Hopefully, we'll get many legends in Ranger lore if they pull it off and win it. But it's one game, and we got to wait till Wednesday night for that game. So, with that said, that's it. So, tomorrow night, Wrestling Forum. Derek Forever will not be there, so Anthony Florio will be the host, along with Michael Bullock and myself. And then Tuesday night is the Bulls Corner as we recap Game 5 of the Eastern Conference NBA playoff. And then we'll have the Rangers Roundup on Wednesday night as we recap Game 7 of the second round series from Madison Square Garden. Until then, have a good night, everybody. You've been watching the Bulls Corner and the Ranger Roundup, a part of the TX, as a part of our Strictly Sports family of networks, exclusively on YouTube.com. Have a good night, everybody.